everyone, or welcome back. My name is Presley, and this is episode 3 of PezKnits. I hope you enjoyed that footage at the beginning. That was a Morrison & Sons store that I went to actually today, and I thought I would film some footage for you guys so you're able to see. It's an amazing store. It's in the city, which is a bit of a trek from where I am, so I don't really go there often. But it's always really nice to stop by. I didn't purchase anything, but I had a look around. I was really shy and I wasn't sure if I was allowed to film, which is why I was kind of like staying in one place where none of the staff were. So apologies for that. Maybe one day if I go again, I'll do a more detailed walkthrough of the store. Anyway, I hope you're all well. I have been a busy little bee with knitting. I went crazy this month. I don't want to hype myself up too much, but I feel like I did a really good job in terms of finished objects, which is where I will start. I don't know what to start with. I'll start with the biggest one. Whoops, I just dropped all of it. There we go. You would have seen this as a whip in my previous episode. It's my finished poncho. This is the Cascade topper. Again, I've forgotten who the designer is. I'll pop it on screen. But this is the Cascade topper, and I created this with a mixture of alpaca wool that I got from Maryland Alpaca, and some mixture of a dog hair wool that my mom got for me from a dog sled training facility or shelter. So yeah, I think it turned out really good. Yeah, I'll try and give you a full view. It's super hot today, so I don't want to put this on. I feel like I did a really terrible job of blocking, even though I literally tried my hardest to block it well with the equipment I had. I have footage of that in my previous video, so if you haven't seen that, go check that out. But yeah, I don't think I've done a very good job because the edges are still curling. But I'm pretty happy with it. I was actually initially going to do a turtleneck or some sort of cowl neck. But after I tried it on, I quite liked it, like the way it was. But it is quite low. It cuts right here and down like this. So I'm actually thinking of incorporating a V-neck, an actual V-neck neckline to it. But I left it because I was I don't want to do something and then I regret it and then I undo it. So I thought I'd just let it cook in my brain before I did anything. Plus it's not winter, it's not cold yet. So I was thinking I could pick it up again and finish it, finish this neckline off. Once it gets cold and when I actually want to wear it. But anyway, yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It's very I don't know if the light, there we go. I feel it's a very unique piece, which I'm really happy with because it's a very unique wool. It's I have hand spun alpaca here, and then I have plain alpaca, and then all of this turquoise green and this light tan color is the dog sled wool. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. I can't wait to wear it. I might actually block it again because the more I look at it, I'm ugh. Look at that curled edge. It has been in my closet ever since I finished it. I finished it right at the beginning of this month, so that's probably why it's all a bit messed up. But yes, that's my first object. Pretty happy with it. I'll move on to the next few. So it was a bit of sock city for me this month. I kind of went crazy with socks. And by crazy, I mean I finished 3 pairs of socks in 1 month. I don't know if you constitute that as crazy. To me it is. I'm not that much of a sock knitter, but I'm kind of turning into one now. But this one you previously saw in my last video as a whip. And this is my DRK Everyday Sock by Andrea Mowry. And this is the skip rope yarn. I'm sorry y'all, I'm really unprepared this time. Usually I'm super prepared and I have everything out for me to remember. And I'm just press record and I'm hoping for the best. So I'll put on the screen which yarn it is, but it's by Skip Rope. It's Skip Rope Yarns. And it's this beautiful, very variegated yarn, which I'm in love with. With this, I have the 3rd sock curse. I make 2 pairs of socks and they come out beautiful and they fit really well. And as soon as I make a 3rd one, it's gets ruined. It doesn't get ruined, it just doesn't turn out like the other 2 did. It's really strange. But again, do you see the top? It's very stretched out looking, and I didn't do anything differently than my last 2 pairs of socks. And they did look at this, it's very, I don't know, maybe I'm not blaming the yarn, but maybe that has something to do with it. It's a traditional sock yarn. It's just merino and nylon. like 25% nylon and 75% merino, like very normal sock wool. And for some reason, like, I think I should have made a size smaller. Like when I have them on my foot, like probably one size too big. And it's fine because like I'm wearing them around the house, but I feel like, yeah, I'm not very happy with the fit of the sock. But in terms of aesthetics, like how it looks, like I'm pretty happy. But yeah, I wish I made one size smaller. And now I know, because the last 2 socks I made in this pattern, they weren't for me. So I didn't know like what the sizing was like for myself. And now I know I need to go down one size. Yeah. So yeah, that's okay. I'm happy I got them done because it took me a really long time, like the 1x1 rib. Oh, sorry, the 2x2 rib. But yeah, I'm happy I got them done. Okay, my next 2 pairs of socks are literally the exact same pattern. It's the Weekend Shorties by Summer Lee Co. I'll put it on screen. It was something like that. So I'll give you a little backstory on why I started these. So I purchased a mystery sock kit from the Australian wool store. I talked about it previously, but I hadn't received it yet. And then literally the next day after I posted my last video, it came in the mail. And I was like really annoyed because I was like, I could have put that in the video. But I filmed it anyway. And so I'm going to insert it right here of like me opening it. And I didn't know what it was going to be. So it was like a total surprise. So I'll show you that before I show you the product I made from it. Alrighty, so my package from the Australian wool store came in the mail and I thought I would film it, the opening for you guys. This is a mystery sock kit. So one regular size skein and like a mini skein to do the toe and heel. And I have no idea what the colors are. So this is going to be our very first view of what we've got. So let me flip this over and let me open it up. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Ooh! Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh. Oh, there's so many mini skeins. Oh, look how beautiful this is. Okay, let me open it up. Oh my god, look at this. Oh, look at this. A beautiful stitch holder. How cute. From Catherine. Oh my gosh. It's like knitting needles in like a jumper. That is so adorable. Okay, let's open this up. So here's the big skein. Absolutely beautiful. It's called, oh, it's January because this is a monthly sock kit. And this is the January color. Beautiful. Let me get the mini skeins. How pretty. The colors definitely go together. How exciting. Can't wait to knit this into a sock. Yes, so I was really excited when I received that. It came with like a little stitch marker and it was like a little handwritten note and I was super happy and I did not expect that many mini skeins to come with it. I thought it was just gonna be one mini skein and one like regular skein, so I was really excited. It was like giving very much like Easter. I know it's like nowhere near Easter right now, but like I thought it was like reminded me of it because of it was pastel. So here is my Summer Lee & Co. Weekend Shorty sock. Like, I love this pattern because I'm very much like a pattern orientated person. Like, I don't really go outside the pattern. Like, I don't design my own patterns. So I'm like not very creative in that sense. But when the pattern calls for like multiple sections to be different colors, like that blew my mind, which is why like what am I saying? Like that's why I was attracted to the pattern. It was also free and it's like very in depth. Like the instructions are very in depth. So I was really surprised that it was for free. But these particular socks are for me. And I used a mixture of like leftover yarn that I previous made like other socks with. I had like mini skeins, which is what I used here. This is one of the mini skeins that like the gusset here. Oh, sorry, the heel flap. The heel flap here, it was one of the mini skeins that came with the set. And then this is like the main color, which came out beautiful. Like, look. I love like that gradient, almost gradient striping. And then like the heel, like the toes are the same as like the cuffs. And that's like a size small. I did a size small for me, and just like for reference, I'm a size 7. Okay, hang on, let me drink. I'm a size 7. And I did a small because it called for, I think it called for 2mm needles, and I had, it called for 2.25mm needles, and I had 2.5, and maybe me not wanting to do a swatch, I was like, I'll just go up. That's not, is that one size up? It's like half a size up. I was like, I'll just do one size bigger and see how it goes. And I put these on my foot, and they fit a lot better than these socks that I showed you previously. Even though, like, these Summerly Co socks, they're not ribbed at all. Like, it's just straight stockinette. And then this is a 2x1, so 2 knits, 1 purl rib, which is really interesting. I've never done that before, but I love the look of it. Like, it's definitely a lot more, not bouncy. What am I trying to say? Like, it's a lot more, like, it fits around the ankle a lot better than that 2x2 rib that I did on the other socks. So that was a nice, like, I like that. So I'm gonna remember that for next time I make sock cuffs, top down. And yeah, this is top down. It's for free. Go check it out. I love it. Like, and I'll tell you how much I loved it because I made a second pair. I made a second pair. I've got lots of mini skins lying around, so I saw this as a really good opportunity to, like, make something out of them. So hang on, let me hold these up. So these are a size 8, and these are actually for my grandma. She's got a size 8 feet. Oh, sorry, so this is a size medium in the pattern, but these are size 8. Like, I intended it to be size 8 socks. And I used one of the mini skeins for the heel here, like this beautiful light blue. And I like that because, like, the mini skeins obviously match the main color. So even though I've got all of, like, these random, like, I've got green, I got, like, you know, it's still, like, it all meshes together because of those mini skeins are, like, the same tone as the main color. But yeah, these turned out really well. I was really happy with these. Oh, sorry, I'm covering my mouth. I was really happy with these. Super smooth sailing. Like, I knitted both of these, no problems. Actually, but one thing, I don't know, like, every single time I've knitted these pair of socks, like this particular pattern, my stitch count on the, like, on the heel, like this, I forgot what it's called, like the heel pad. I can't remember what it's called. The heel turn. Yeah, after the heel turn, which is like this blue part here, my stitch count was 1 less than what the pattern called for. Every time. And I don't know if it's an error in the pattern, and usually when there's errors in the patterns, especially when they're on Ravelry, they usually add it, like, an errata. They, like, I don't know if that's pronouncing it right, but they add, like, a note talking about, like, saying, oh, this was wrong, it should be this. And to be fair, I haven't checked. I just downloaded the pattern and just knitted it, and I've knitted it twice, and I've noticed this happened twice in a row, so I'm starting to think that's an error on the pattern and not me. So maybe I should actually check that. But yeah, it's, like, really strange. I just kept getting the wrong stitch count, and it was just off by 1, and so I would just, like, just make one. Like, I just add 1 more stitch. It was, like, not a big deal at all, but I just thought that was really strange, because, yeah, anyway. But really happy with those. I can't, my grandma lives in America, so I'll have to send these over. I haven't blocked any of these, and I still have, like, all my ends. I haven't trimmed them at all, so I'm gonna block them and then I'm gonna trim them and then I can actually send them off. So yeah, I'm rushing through these, sorry. So yeah, that's what I got done. I had 3 pairs of socks. Ooh, maybe I should do a thumbnail, like, sock mania. Hang on. Like, I don't know what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to make something, every time I film these videos, like, I forget that, like, I need pictures to put on, like, the thumbnail, and then all of the shots that I have of me during the video, they're like I'm like, look like I'm mid-sentence, so I'm just trying to, is that even good? Whatever. If it's on the thumbnail, it's on the thumbnail. Now you know. Okay, I'll move on to whiffs. Let me have a little drinky. I got this cup from Vietnam. And we went to the cinema, and for some reason, like, we bought, like, one of those it wasn't even, like, a couple's deal. It was just, like, 2 popcorns and 2 drinks. And then they were like, oh, because you, like, bought this much, we're gonna give you this cup for free. And so I literally lugged this cup. Look at it. I lugged this cup all the way from Vietnam back to Sydney. So, but I love it. It's so cute. It's, like, my favorite souvenir from Vietnam. And it's, like, not even, like, it doesn't look Vietnamese at all, but I love that. Anyway, okay. I'm moving on to whips. Now, in terms of, like, whips, I feel like I haven't done very well, and I'll tell you why. Because, I'll explain more in the Stash-quisitions section, but I had ordered something, and I was waiting for it, and so I didn't want to start something majorly new because I was anticipating the project that I was going to do with the yarn I just bought at the beginning of the month. So I was kind of, like, wasting time. Not wasting time, but, like, doing things, like, small things. Like, I finished off my poncho, and then I, like, knitted, like, heaps of socks. And so my other main distraction was my metered square blanket, and I did a lot. Like here, I'll show you. So I've added to the second row, but this isn't going to be the width. I'm just like adding as I go. It'll probably be double this, like the in terms of like the width. But I just like used all of like whatever leftover like tiny little sock wool I had left. I love the way that it's looking, like very, very like unique and like very like grandma, which I kind of dig. I love that. There's like my skip rope, the rest of my skip rope. Yeah. This is fun. Like I would love, like if I had like 100, like I was looking at Stephen West's video. Oh, what's it called? Like the Woolly World of PezKnits, the Woolly World of PezKnits. And he's got like these huge buckets of all these like partial skeins. And I was like, I wish I had that so I could just keep adding squares to this blanket. Cause it's so fun, cause I can only knit when I have leftovers of like skeins. So that's why I hardly ever knit on this unless I have something left over that I can add to it. But yeah, that's fun. I love that. I love the idea of like mixing colors, like even though they don't match, but then when you put them together, like it works. Like look at that. It reminds me, you know what's popping up in my mind? I don't know if this is just an Australian thing, but it reminds me of that elephant. I don't even know if this exists, but this is what I remember. This elephant, and it's got like a quilted like skin, like it's a rainbow quilted like with squares elephant. I don't know if I'm making any sense. If I find it, hopefully I'm putting it on screen right now. And if it doesn't exist, there's no picture, and I'm just like totally embarrassed. But yeah, that's what this reminds me of. Oh my god, I feel like I'm all over the place in this one. I didn't prepare at all for it. Did I even mention this pattern? This is the Coziest memory. I forgot who it's by, but this is the Coziest memory. But there's heaps of metered blanket like patterns on Ravelry. But I just like this one the best because the squares were like a good shape. They weren't too big and they weren't too small, which is why I chose that one. That particular pattern. Yes, and then my final whip is another sock. Literally the exact same, another Weekend Shorty sock. And you know what? I'm literally using the same skein as these other two socks, like the same main color skein. Like, I didn't realize how many socks you could pump out with one skein. Especially like, oh, but do note, like I have size 7 feet. Like they're not the smallest in the world, but they're not like huge. And then my grandma only has like size 8 feet, which is one size above me. And then I'm knitting these for my other grandma, whose feet are, I think they're even smaller than mine. But I'm just knitting it as a size, like my size. Because like if it's too small, she just can't wear it, period. But if it's like just a tiny bit too big, then she can still wear it around the house. And again, I'm just like using all of like the leftover like mini skeins I have and like bits and bobs I have in my stash. And I've just done that heel turn. And once again, I got the stitch count wrong, which is why I was going on about it before. And I was doing it on the train. And I was like, it's wrong again. Surprise, surprise. But yeah. I was thinking 3rd time's the charm, and no. I still have 1 stitch less than the pattern called for, so I don't know what's going on there. But yeah. I've only just started this. Like, I only just started this, like, 2 or 3 days ago. I got pretty far. They're so easy to pump out. They're so quick and easy. Like, if you want a quick and easy product, like, it's just straight stockinette, and just, like, you know, you just follow it. It's, like, really easy. I actually really enjoy this pattern, particularly the sock pattern. Alrighty, I'm moving on so fast. I apologize. I really need to like bulk up what I'm talking about. I'll move on to Stash-quisitions. So I showed you the mystery sock kit that I got from the Australian wool store. That was exciting. And my other big purchase, okay, here I go. I'm going to do a huge backstory like I normally do. I have always wanted to knit my partner a sweater, and because he never wears sweaters, number one, and so if I make one, he has to wear it, and number two, I just think he would look so good in the sweater, so I just really, and also it's just like I want him to have a sweater that I've made for him, and then he can like keep it forever. And so oh whoa, spoiler, I nearly spoiled the whole thing I was just talking about, sorry. So he's like he's not big, but he's like a man. So he's like, it requires like a large volume of wool for me to knit him a sweater. And because I'm like, not a cheapskate, I just like don't like to spend a lot of money. Like I just don't want to overly spend on a lot of money. So I like went searching like through all these like websites to try and find like bulk buying wool for like a reasonable price. And I came across this site called Crochet. It was like crochet.com or crochet, wool, yarn, crochet, something like that. I'll put it on screen. And they had like heaps of options. And it was all like very relatively cheap, like affordable. That's what I'm trying to say. And they had a huge color range. It was amazing, like 50 colors. They weren't like hand dyed. They were just like, what am I saying? Like in industry, like made by machines, not hand dyed. That's what I'm trying to say. And so I ended up buying 17 balls of this yarn to make the meterage that I needed to make my partner's size. And it came to like $100, and it was free shipping. And I was like, what a steal. Like, that's so good. And then I bought it, no problem. Once I received the tracking for it, it said it was coming from Ohio in America. And I went, oh my God, did I pay $100 in US dollars? Because it was free shipping and it was $100 for 17 balls of wool, and they're 50 grams each, and it's worsted weight yarn. What's 17 times 50? I don't know, but it's quite a lot of yarn. I freaked out, and then I checked my statements, and it was $100 in Australian. So I may have uncovered like this secret yarn site that's like super affordable from America that was just like free shipping anywhere. It was like incredible. So anyway, let me get to the actual yarn. So I have the tag here. Actually, hang on. Maybe this can be our thumbnail. Here. Here's my 17 balls of wool. It came in like a huge box. It was so funny. And then they had to like take one out because it's like 10 in each. So they had to take out 3 balls. But this is the one. I've done a swatch. Ooh, I've done a swatch. I'm like really invested in this project. I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to have to do it twice. So I'm swatching. And so here it is. And oh my God, where have I? Oh yeah, here we go. This is the wool of the Andes worsted weight. And the color is Jurassic. Now this color, I am obsessed. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. Kind of. Maybe I'll insert a clip of it like in the sun. But it's like this. It's strange because every time I look at it, it like almost changes color. It turns like from green to like blue, like a really dark blue, but also like a forest green. And on the website, they had like this most beautiful description of the color, which kind of sold me. Maybe I'll like put a picture up of like what the description was, because that sold me. I was like, this is the color I want. Because my partner looks really good in green, but I didn't want to get him something like garishly green. I love green, by the way. Like, don't get me wrong, I love green, but like I wanted him to be able to wear it to work. So I wanted it to be neutral, but like still green, which is why I went for this color. Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. It's coming out a bit gray here, I think. I don't know. It's more green. I'll insert footage of it in the sun and maybe you'll be able to see it better. But yes, I swatched it and I've actually got it. Oh my God, I've got it blocking as we speak on my yoga mat with all the pins in it. And actually my partner blocked it for me while I was gone. Because it's just like I just told them to try and block it to a 10 by 10 centimeter square, which is pretty easy, while I was gone. And then I came home and he like put like 50 million pins in it. And I was like, yes, baby, yes. He knows exactly what he needs to do. So yeah, I'm hoping I hit gauge. The pattern that I'm thinking about making is the single molt by Max the Knitter. It's a beautiful, like very, not basic, but like it's a basic sweater, but I believe it uses like a moss stitch or even like a seed stitch. I don't know. I'm not sure which stitch it uses, but it's like a textured stitch. And I think it's like a raglan kind of construction, fitting. I'm throwing words out there that I don't know, but it has like those lines here that raglan jumpers usually have. Or I was actually thinking of making Stephen West's, oh no, Presley, come on. Stephen West's, I was doing so well. I was doing so well with remembering the pattern names, not the designers, but the pattern names. And now I'm just like, let me go check really quickly. Yes. Sorry. The Dustland sweater. As you can see, like I want something textured. I don't want to just do straight stockinette because, well, there's nothing wrong with stockinette, but I want to do something interesting. Like I want to go outside. Like I made the Le Pouf cardigan by Hedgehog Fibers, which was like a simple crop cardigan. That was like stockinette all over, and like that was fun, but now I've done it. Now I want to move on to something else. So I want something like textured. But then I was thinking, like, this is quite a dark yarn, and the Dustland sweater, like it has multiple stitch patterns in it, and like I'm blind. Like I'm wearing my glasses today, by the way. I usually wear my contacts. I'm like blind. And I don't think I'll be able to see what I'm doing with this color because it's quite dark. So that's why I thought better of it. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll do the single mold because it's like I can memorize the, the stitches required for the body. So we'll see. But the swatch I made, oh, sorry, my straw's in the way. Oh my God. The swatch I made is for that single mold jumper. So we'll see what I end up doing. Yes. Do I have anything else to talk about? Maybe I'll show off like my little, sorry, I'm like filling in time now, but this is like where I keep all my bits and bobs to like make my beaded square blanket. It's a kimchi container, and I just chuck all of my bits and bobs in it. And same with this one. This is where I keep, like, when like you're cutting off all your loose ends of your knitting projects, I just chuck them all in here. What am I keeping them for? I don't know. But I was thinking maybe one day if I end up knitting toys, which I don't know, maybe I will. I can use this for like stuffing. But also I saw on Instagram this girl was using like her scraps like this, like all the unusable pieces that are too short for you to knit with. And she was like making a rug with like the hook, and you use like the piece of material that's like a grid, and it's like fabric, and then you use a hook, and then you just like hook and loop. You make loops using your scrap fabric. I really like that idea, but I don't know how to do it. So maybe that's something I'd look into. Like there's so much in here, it's like bursting out of here. But yes, that's where I keep my little bits and bobs. It's like a total mess over here. I've got like all my knitting stuff. I tried to organize it by putting all of my projects into project bags and then putting them under the coffee table so that when I'm sitting here watching TV, I can look and be like, which one do I want to work on? But now it's just like all falling apart again. I'm sure many of you can relate. I feel like when you like are a crafter, you always have just like so much like supplies, and then it's just like all over the place. Or at least that's the case for me. If you're really organized, shout out to you. Alrighty, I think that's all I had to talk about. It's like so quick. For some reason I thought I would have so much to talk about, but I really don't. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all staying safe. And I'll see you in the next, my straw again. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.